Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 2, Episode 15, where we watch the U.S. F Word, Season 1, Episode 1. And I'm Chris Lorenz. Sitting to my right is...
Harrison Hoffman.
Sitting to my left is...
Maxio Batali.
Sitting next to him...
James.
Okay, hold on. James made a very strange look at me when I said Maxio Batali. Does James not know who Mario Batali is?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
Do other people know who Mario Batali is?
I do
No,
know who Mario
I do
Batali
not.
is.
He's another one of these, famous chef types. He in particular is kind of an asshole. He doesn't pay his workers. His parents run the salumi sandwich shop downtown.
Wow.
Yeah,
There we go.
now you know Mario Batali. Famous chef.
I want
kind of an
to
asshole.
officially apologize for anyone that
Mario
watched this show.
Batali.
It is very bad. The
What
show
show?
is this one.
The podcast or the TV show?
I don't think you watch a podcast. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I always watch my podcasts.
Yeah. What are you not doing that? What are you talking? What?
Obviously, we're here to talk about the show, James.
Okay, I'm just
I
saying.
just stare at my iTunes until it's over. Just kidding. I don't use iTunes.
But rate us on
Man.
iTunes.
When's the cover art on the iTunes gonna update?
It doesn't update.
It's insane. It's like whatever that dude that looks like Hurley from Lost about whatever show the hell it was we watched.
I'm
on
pretty
that.
sure that's your favorite show.
Which one was that? Utopia?
Yeah.
That was one of the better shows we watched for sure.
The listeners have no idea what we're talking about right now,
You don't
so
know about
sorry about
Utopia?
that.
What? What was that? Was that S1E1?
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
podcast.
That's what the first episode is.
Man, OG.
Okay.
Arguably, is it still in the top third?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right, guys. The F Word. If you've seen the British version, this is not the same. This is...
There's
I'll
a
read the
British
description. Yeah.
Okay.
Families and friends will battle it out in a live high-stakes cook-off with hopes of impressing Ramsay and celebrity guests.
So I think we're noticing a theme with Fox shows talking about high stakes when the stakes aren't really that high.
What are the stakes here, Harrison?
The
Stakes are
stakes
bullshit.
here are that the top two teams, as picked by Gordon Ramsay over the course of the season, will at some point get to compete for $100,000.
Like
Insane.
Like they're not even getting any money from being on the show. They just get to be on the show.
Yeah, you're just
Right.
on the show. You're on TV.
They're
You
cooking
get to
for
be
free.
super stressed out with Gordon Ramsay
Except,
and cook live.
okay,
It doesn't. It.
should we kind of talk about what this show is? Because this was not what I was expecting this show to be.
Oh,
when we
agree.
started it.
Totally
Definitely
agree.
do not expect it to be this.
Well, they kick it off and they're like, "This is a competition show," as per the description,
And
then
then it's not really.
it's just not that.
It has
really.
nothing to do with the competition.
It's like loosely. It's like loosely. It's like the competition's happening, but it's just kind of some background.
It just kind of turns into this like live talk show that's hosted by Gordon Ramsay, and this cooking competition is just kind of going on in the background of this talk show.
Yeah, they're kind of like the band of the late night show.
Yeah,
they're like the
for
Conan
sure.
band or whatever the hell those guys are.
like what I will say about the show is I have never seen anything quite like it. It's it's an avant-garde reality TV show.
Dude, no, I was impressed by the format. Like I was actually kind of impressed by the format. It's just interesting. Like I've never seen it before.
I was impressed that they were willing to experiment. I think there may be a kernel of an okay idea here, but the execution here was not good. It was a bunch of unconnected segments. That
100%.
Oh well, the celebrity segments. I think we can all agree were horrific.
yeah.
Like they were terrible.
I feel like Gordon Ramsay just isn't a good host. Like he's not a good late night host, and that's what they were trying to like get at.
I don't think he's a good interviewer per se.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
right.
He definitely he was excited to be there and talk to these people. They just had nothing interesting to say.
Well,
or he had
and
nothing
he-
interesting to ask about
Yeah.
or research or whatever.
the problem is, much like kind of normal late night shows, everyone is just there to promote something that they're working on. So it's like, hey, let's go talk to this dude, and he's promoting this TV show. Let's go talk to this other person. And then, yeah,
What was Snoop promoting?
Snoop was
His new
promoting an album, and
Oh.
then this cooking show that he hosts, I think, also.
So, and also he doesn't get a lot of time with like these celebrity guests. They're like on the show for like 3 minutes.
Dude, it was painful though. That entire 3 minutes was the worst 3 minutes ever.
Well, it's just like when you're at a late night show, right? You've got a good you get a beginning 5-minute interview. Then after
you have your bit.
yeah, and then afterwards you do your plug, and then you move on to the next person.
Yeah.
The whole
Whereas
thing's
like
not
this
the
is
plug.
just the plug. Like
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's like, hey, what are you up to, Chris? And then it's just like, well, I'm working on this new
Podcast. Who put this on?
podcast thing. This Who Put This On podcast. That's what I've been up to. You should go check it out at blah, blah, blah. And then that's all it is.
Because they're trying to cram so much shit into this show
Oh, it's
that they just
nuts.
don't have enough time for more than the plug with these people. It's just...
So let's try and run through all of the segments on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Because
man.
it's nuts.
I can't. I don't
How did
think
the
I can
thing
remember
even
them all.
start?
Uh,
Well, because they went to the place. They went, like, Gordon Ramsay went to these, like, amateur chefs, like, actual...
They
house
started
or something.
the show by starting the competition,
Right.
and they went. Gordon Ramsay had a pre-recorded segment with both of the guests, both of the competing teams. There was 4 people on each team, by the way.
Right. Oh, should we do a quick run of the...
no,
There's the Spice Boys.
This is-
Insane name.
Spice Boys.
And then you got the Sexy Paisans with 3 females that are all about the same size, and then one at least a good 1.5 taller gentleman somehow got on this Sexy Paisans team.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to
There you have
describe the Spice Boys?
They're 4 Indian gentlemen.
4 second-generation Indians from Nashville, Tennessee.
Well,
The
second
moment-
or more.
The moment I heard that, I was like, damn, that's a good flavor combination right there.
Spice Boys.
Yeah, Spice Boys.
Yeah, if we can get some recipes, maybe.
Spice Boys for life.
I feel like Nashville's an interesting place to end up if you're coming to like America from India,
Sure. But
right? Like I don't know.
just flavor combination wise, I think that's a good mix.
Got some Nashville barbecue in there, I guess. I don't really know what's going on.
It's
They
Spice
probably
Town.
they could probably do like a mean dry rub.
Oh, no doubt.
So
People looking
anyway.
at me. What? I don't
That's the
remember.
teams.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the segments, the pre-recorded
Well,
segments.
it's the competition is they the people in the restaurant say whether they would purchase that meal or not, and the ones that got the highest percentage with yeses won something. I don't know. They didn't win anything.
They just
So-
won the show.
Did the people actually have to pay for the food if they said that they were willing to pay for the food? Like, did they actually have to put
No.
the money up? for
They
their
also.
vote?
Oh, I hate this fucking
No, they
question because they
didn't.
didn't clarify how much are you willing to pay. Like,
Doesn't matter if you're
people
willing to pay $1, then you've been willing to pay.
yeah, but I just don't know if people are like. I bet it had to be like the only way I can only see like the one team getting 43%. Like you're telling me that the like only 43% are willing to pay $1 for this
This
you
is-
know Alaskan salmon they just had freshly prepared for them.
They would assume that like it's like would you pay for this in a Gordon Ramsay
Right.
caliber restaurant?
It's a Gordon Ramsay menu price, and they're like, "Are you going
Right.
to pay $39.95
Exactly.
for this dish?" That had to be the question. It's the only way this makes any sense.
That's why the ratings are so low for sure.
right. They just didn't
They're-
inform the audience of that.
For the TV show,
and I just
or-
want to know.
Well, we jumped to the end.
By the way,
Like the competition's, it's
The
kind of irrelevant
competition
to all the
means-
segments.
it doesn't
means
matter at all.
nothing.
Right.
But the Spice Boys got 43%, and Sexy Paisans
Paisans.
got 68%. I keep thinking of Paisanos
And-
from Seinfeld.
and I think we don't even need to talk anymore about the food competition part of this because nothing else interesting even happened with it. Like basically in between all these
They just come back and forth to it every once in a
all these
while.
guest interviews and these pre-recorded segments, Gordon would just kind of walk over to these teams, you know, give them some kind of pep talk, and then be like, "All right, back talking to Jamie Foxx," and then it was just
That was
There
it.
was like, there was like a salmon that wasn't cooked all the way through or something. And I'm like, was that really happening? Because that happens in his shows all the time. And like,
but like the thing is, he is available at because the whole show's live, so he is available at very specific times to film these little segments where he's with these teams. So for that salmon thing to have happened in that exact moment where he was going to talk to that team,
No,
Yeah.
they just have like
Unlikely.
regular check-ins with the team, and so like they just cue a couple of things up and like, okay, here's what's going on, and then then he goes and talks to him, right? And they're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
like 10 minutes ago someone reported this cold salmon,
and then
we
they
just took it from them and put it here.
Gotcha,
so
gotcha,
obviously
yeah.
it's really cold now because it's been sitting out for another 10
Touch
minutes.
it.
Feel this.
Feel it. It's so fucking cold. Yeah, obviously
Yeah,
it's been
it's,
sitting out for 10
lukewarm.
minutes. I had to go do that Snoop Dogg interview. That was horrible.
Snoop and fam.
Right.
Let's roll through the segments.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Take it away.
Where'd we stop?
The first one.
Oh shit. Okay. So,
You should listen.
timeline wise, you open the show. He's in the restaurant. Then he does the 2 cutaways to the other
We did
team.
this already.
This is OD.
Then,
What are you doing?
Then he talks to Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is the
Foxx,
most
first segment.
boring
There we go.
motherfucker I've ever seen.
Well, he's just
I like-
plugging some other food show.
No,
Whoa,
it's
whoa.
not a food show. He's on to talk about his like singing, his Shazam singing competition show.
It's so bad.
Oh,
I haven't
that
seen
sounds
it.
awful.
I haven't seen it.
I don't think
I
we're
haven't
doing
watched
that
it.
one.
It's just so bad. What does he do after that?
I think that it might be time for the first part of my favorite segment.
Yes. Take
Yeah.
it away.
So at some point, this show inexplicably turns into Undercover Boss,
Oh,
100%.
and
I'm
this
still confused by the segment.
and this segment starts, and Gordon Ramsay's like, I guess there's some kind of culinary school, and one of Gordon Ramsay's chefs or something is like an instructor at this school, so he's gonna go pretend to be a student in the class.
And I think the school is like very explicit. Like it's available just like normal people, like amateurs. I think.
Right.
Like, these are not like chefs.
They
in
definitely
training.
seem like amateurs.
Right. They're just like, hey,
At least
go
from what they
learn-
were teaching.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like basic cooking kind of
For
stuff.
sure. So, they had this little montage of them basically dressing Gordon Ramsay up in a fat suit and putting like some prosthetics in his face and stuff like that, or on his face,
Yeah.
not
full
in his
wig,
face.
facial hair, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and then he rolls up on this class and basically just starts pranking people like left and right. Like he starts pranking people before the person he's supposed to be pranking even shows up.
Yeah, I love how they're making like pasta or something in this, and he just starts showboating. He's like supposed to be like an amateur who's never made pasta before, had done any of these culinary things, and they're like,
Well,
all right, today we're gonna learn how to make
That was
pasta.
the thing, is he was trying to get them to admit. Or I don't know. I had no fucking idea what he was doing.
Well, it was-
doesn't make any fucking sense.
It was extremely risky for the prank because somebody could have
What
been
prank?
like,
What was the prank?
He wanted
Explain to me the prank.
He wanted
Oh,
to
he
pra-
finds out it's Gordon Ramsay. Oh, what the fuck you doing in my class? Get the fuck out! Like I don't understand.
For sure. It's
I am
totally-
so fucking lost.
It's totally just like, oh yeah, like
Look,
I
I'm gonna
used to be. It's like your
surprise-
former boss coming back to like your place of work now,
But it's
and
not
as,
like you put a
dressed up
whoopee
as
cushion in my thing. It was
No.
just like, he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
And then, he was like, oh, he cooked real well. Oh, okay. So why are you fucking in my class? I don't know.
Right.
He's like here to be a fucking dick. Oh, what a funny prank. Oh, my former boss was a dick in my class. Oh, it was great. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow.
So-
I couldn't explain the prank,
So-
but I love your description. Of
so the kind of thing that I think that they should lean into a little bit more with the prank is like it was funny when he was just inexplicably amazing at cooking as this random ass dude.
Yeah.
So like I wish that there had been some more opportunities for him to showcase his amazing cooking talent, and then she is just watching
Like-
him in disbelief as he's just tearing this kitchen up.
Yeah.
And then she, at some point, maybe realizes it's him.
Yeah,
like,
so
I feel like that's the way to go with that one.
that was the
I
interesting
think that was
part.
the idea.
And
Yeah.
But it just
and then
did-
it just
whatever
came off the
segment that they had was awful.
Well, for some
because-
reason they just moved on. Like they should have went into more detail on that chicken. So for the person he actually wanted to prank, which again I don't know, apparently they work together or something. He basically wanted to prank her, but then so the objective of that class was to like carve up a chicken or something, like just totally cut it into pieces or whatever that's called.
I don't know. That's the only thing they did in the class.
Right, and so they were trying to do that, and then Ramsay's just telling the camera crew, and like the confessional is like, yeah, only a professionally trained chef of like world caliber could carve up a chicken as well as I just did it. Let's see if she notices.
Or just
and
somebody
she's just
that-
like, all right, yeah, looks like it. Looks like you did
Yeah.
it. Like, what do you mean? He like perfectly cut that fucking bird, like whole bird. In
She's not looking at it like a fucking with a precision
Everyone
magnifying
else in the
glass
class
here.
had chopped the shit out of that bird, and it wasn't even close. And he's just like, it looked like a fucking grocery store, or like, I'm just like, I don't know. I was really
Would you
impressed.
call people in the meat department professional chefs that like
They're professional butchers by definition.
I'm just like I just the segment.
I'm
was
just saying,
so-
like, there's no way
You
I'm
can
cutting up a
think
chicken like that.
This segment seems like it would be entertaining, but this segment was awful. Like it was bad.
The segment ended poorly. I felt like because the prank wasn't really a prank. It just wasn't
So-
like the prank wasn't.
Yeah,
thing.
it was like it's so funny because the whole thing is just this total non-prank. He just shows up and like nothing happens. He's like, oh,
Like-
and it's just
Oh yeah.
okay. And so here's here my favorite part about this is that they're all in on this whole idea. They had two of the pre-recorded segments in this show were about this whole undercover boss thing, and then in the next time they show they're doing it again with the exact same disguise.
Same disguise.
It's that afternoon. Like
So-
this segment was the morning, and then the afternoon he goes some prank somebody else.
Oh, it's so good.
It takes him 4 hours to get into that thing. He's definitely doing more than one segment a day.
Yeah, great point.
Maybe.
Great point.
Or just like, does this Gordon Ramsay not have that many like looks? It just looks like Gordon Ramsay.
There was definitely a point where they were filming this.
yeah,
And they were like, this shit's not funny. Gordon Ramsay, you got to be a dick. Go take like 1,000 photos in her face and like
that totally
shout at
happened.
her like and see her like handle it like a champ and you being like an asshole because you just acted like an asshole.
Oh yeah.
that's pretty much what happened.
That was like the prank. And I was just like, I don't understand this.
It's so bad.
It is so bad. Every segment of this thing was so bad.
I just really enjoyed him like showboating in the cooking thing in
Oh,
this
yeah.
like amateur level class.
There
where,
was like a
nobody knows what they're
5-second
doing.
clip of him showboating.
No, but like that was the best part of the whole.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the only goal
This
if there's any in this
50-minute
segment.
show, the best part was 5 seconds of him making pasta.
Yup.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Oh man.
What were the other segments here? There was a
The soup
really
segment, Jamie
great
Foxx.
first date segment.
Oh, my god.
This was the best.
if by really
so
great,
good.
I mean really bad.
Yes. Every segment in the show is bad.
Like, firstly, can we go to all the people that are just on the show? Like, it's insane.
We're talking about the first date, James.
First date.
I know, but like
Talking
that leads
about
me to
the
the first
first
date
date.
people that are also insane.
Okay.
Like all of these goddamn people, they're just
Yeah,
like,
we'll
they're
talk
not
about
TV
them
people.
after the first date.
I just they're all about the same.
Yeah. Well, they talked to these like amateur. Like I don't know who these people were. Whether they're Gordon Ramsay's
I'm
friends.
not really sure how they found out about this, but at some point they're basically just like, "Hey, there's a couple of people who are here on a first date. Let's go check in and see how they're doing."
Nah, I feel like this was set up.
It was definitely set up because they had lav mics on, but
No. Like each week they're gonna have a first date couple.
Oh, you think? Okay,
Yeah,
that could be.
So they're just like producers like put out a casting call or whatever.
I feel like that. I feel like they just ask people on the way into this thing. It's like, "Hey, why are you here?" Then there's like, "Okay,
Nah.
you look reasonably attractive enough to be on TV, and you have an interesting story. Let's pop this thing on you." Because it was obvious that there was very light screening because the interview was terrible.
Everyone
Terrible
in
interview.
in that restaurant was handpicked by the producers, aka Gordon Ramsay. So like, there's no one just walking up and be like, "You're attractive. Let's put you on the TVs."
But he
like
didn't know
Gordon
that.
Ramsay's friends all come, and you'll be on the TV, and like the producers just try to find people like on Tinder, like you swipe right to be on this new Gordon Ramsay show. And like, oh, you like, meet somebody on the Gordon Ramsay show? Sure. You look attractive. Like that's there's like
What are you talking about?
this is some Tinder Gordon Ramsay thing. That's what I'm talking about.
There's some Tinder Gordon Ramsay app floating around out there. You haven't gotten it?
You
You
didn't get-
swipe right, you get on the Gordon Ramsay show on the first date.
Dude, it's live. It could happen that way.
Right.
It's insane.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a really bad segment. They were awful interviewees, and Gordon Ramsay, as we've discussed, is an awful interviewer.
Right.
So there's just like two awful people talking to each other. Three.
Seemed like they're having a pretty good date though. Seemed like they were enjoying the
Until
date.
Gordon Ramsay
Yeah,
showed
until
up.
Gordon
Oh yeah,
Ramsay
Gordon
showed up.
Ramsay's ruining that date.
Who
Yeah.
goes to a celebrity chef restaurant for a first date?
People that the producers called and asked to be on this show on first date.
From the
Fucking
Gordon
weird.
Ramsay
Yeah.
Tinder app.
I guess also...
It's just Tinder.
Oh, it's just Tinder.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
just
the
Tinder.
profile is like, want to be on a reality show, go on a first date, because you're clearly, they're looking to go on dates.
So there's like
It's
a
clearly
Tinder
a spot.
partnership here.
Yeah. No, what do you need a Tinder partnership for?
Like, can anyone just put these like business accounts like on Tinder? Like,
yeah,
don't you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
be a person?
There's advertisements in Tinder.
Really? Man, I guess I
Well, I
haven't
guess
looked at
that would
Tinder
be
in a while.
more of a partnership, but
Who knows?
We're weighing
doesn't matter.
Moving on.
we're weighing the weeds in this insane idea.
It's not an idea. It's how they did it. Call up the producer.
These are facts, apparently.
Next, guarantee you, episode 2 has a first date segment. And how else are you going to do it?
It's the only way to do it.
It's the
The only way to do it is
Well,
put this
I mean,
Tinder
the Tinder
ad in.
app, you know, probably happen, but it's not the only way.
I will believe you that they set these people up if next week it's another first date segment.
Well, you watch it. You let me know.
will not be watching it.
You listeners, let us know because I don't think any of us are going to watch it.
We had the Snoop Dogg segment.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
As we said,
Wasn't there like multiple Snoop segments?
there was a couple Snoop segments.
They
We're
kinda
going to talk
like-
to them all at the same time.
They kind of
Yeah.
showed him, and then Gordon actually went over and talked to him.
Yeah.
Then they ate. There was
They
like
ate,
there was like
yes,
3
yeah.
segments.
So, yeah,
Snoop was high as
Snoop
usual.
didn't have a lot to say.
Oh yeah. Then he interviewed the lady that he did the prank on, and that was also equally terrible.
Can we finish talking about Snoop before you move on to the next segment?
I thought we decided there was nothing to talk about. You were just
I
saying
had
there's
things to
nothing.
talk about
Okay,
here.
well,
Lot-
let's
There's
let's
a lot of tension on the
Interru-
pod today.
Interrupting me to talk about other segments.
let's go back to Snoop.
I thought Snoop did a terrible job at promoting his album. Like, I'm pretty sure Gordon Ramsay mentioned it like one time about the album art, and that's the only reason I know they were talking about an album.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay kind of teed up. Snoop talked a little bit about the album, and then
They just talked about
that's about
nothing.
it. Yeah,
They talked about there was like some really awful comment, like a bad comment about his daughter. That I don't really remember what the comment was.
oh, I didn't notice that one.
I thought we talked about it while it happened.
I did notice the fact that Snoop Dogg said that this is
Oh, yeah.
as carefree as he's ever felt in his life right now, which seems
In the Trump era?
unlikely in Trump world. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Snoop made the comment about his daughter being bad at cooking.
Yes, that's right.
what I was
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about the Snoop segment. But
Oh boy.
I don't know. There's not. There was like the daughter and the son there. Right?
No. We're done. We're done with Snoop. We're done with
We're
Snoop.
done with Snoop.
We're done with Snoop.
So yeah, they interviewed the fake prankster person.
Yeah.
It was awful.
They said nothing.
There was like a segment with Gordon Ramsay's daughter that we
Yeah,
missed,
son
that
and
we're
daughter.
Not really sure if it was son and daughter. Do we know if it's a son and daughter?
It was definitely son and daughter, and it's not clear. They didn't really talk about much either. They don't really talk about anything in any of these segments. Like it's just
This is like
it just get like they just kind of say hi, and they introduce who they are, and then they just kind of maybe talk for a second, and then it's just over, and that's kind of it.
yeah. That's why like even if Gordon Ramsay was a good interviewer, like he doesn't have the time to interview well.
They need half as many segments in this show. They need to throw a bunch of shit out. Throw a bunch of this stuff out. Give some of these interviews, some of the better interviews, a little bit more room to breathe. Like
Like you can't
There
just
was- there
show up
was-
with Jamie Foxx for like a minute.
there was an entire interview with somebody that he said that he had to cut at the end of the thing because they didn't have time for it. It's like they clearly didn't manage the time right.
Insane.
Did he need
yeah.
writers for this show? Is that the problem?
Well, I'm sure that there are writers for the show.
I wonder if this is
Do
like
they need better writers?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
They just don't have like. They just need to give them some questions to ask,
No,
or
they
like
just
somebody's got to
need
do some
to-
research on these people or something, and like, hey, these are the things that are like interesting to talk about.
They need
these
to give 'em
writers
more-
want you to shape it here.
They need to give them some more time for these interviews. More time so you can talk about something other than the plug. Like that's the key.
Yeah, you cut the segments in half or keep the number of segments and make it longer so maybe the cooking competition could actually like
Yeah.
have some time to breathe. But
The cooking competition should just be removed from this show. It's the least consequential part of it.
It gets you in though.
This
All the marketing is about the cooking competition.
they should scrap the cooking competition. Gordon should cook a couple things live, like some stuff like that should happen. I don't know. It's just
so. I mean, we did gloss over some other segment. We're not done with all the segments.
Oh
yet.
man, what else we got?
Is that true?
The pre-recorded cooking segment with Gordon Ramsay, where he made the like
that YouTube video kind of. Yeah.
Oh, and probably the second best segment we have not talked about.
What is it?
Anyone remember what the segment is?
Would you describe it as space-like? Kevin Spacey reference?
No.
I have no idea.
That's another. That's.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that Kevin Spacey.
That's
Kevin
because it
Spacey was on this show.
It was 2 minutes.
The Twitter.
Oh.
That's
Twitter
definitely
Ash.
the second best. Like
Twitter Ash is
Gordon
insane.
Ramsay has this image that he's trying to get rid of him being a dick on TV to like people in Hell's Kitchen.
He's trying to get rid of this?
I have to imagine because he's not a dick in this show other than this segment.
Except for that prank segment and the Twitter bash segment.
That's why I said the pranks thing. Still have no idea what that is about.
I kind of feel like the prank went a little bit sideways on them this time.
Yeah.
Maybe next time it'll go a little bit better.
I'm so lost on that segment. But this segment, people tweeted at him photos. So he tweeted out a recipe and asked for pictures. So then people tweeted back at him, and he just bashed every single one. Like even one that looked, I'm like, oh, that looks okay.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
What is that made by? Like a lily and a lily pond? I don't know.
I
That's not
love
what he
Chris's
said.
Amazing.
Gordon Ramsay impression, though. It's an amazing Gordon
It's
Ramsay.
a great British impression.
Oh, man. I was just remembering the Kevin Spacey segment with the Bill Clinton impression. Apparently, he's famous for.
Yeah.
Which
I
just
have no
learned
idea.
about.
We were treated to a Kevin Spacey Bill Clinton impression. We were also treated to Kevin Spacey playing tennis, which I didn't know he did.
Why was there tennis a part of that segment?
So basically there was like this quick fire style challenge that Gordon Ramsay was going to do. And
There was a lot of setup for this.
There's a lot of setup for very little payoff. And there were like a bunch of like really normal ingredients like behind all the things, and there's like, okay, he's gonna serve it like this big wall is kind of like cubbies, like boxes with paper on the front of them with the words of the different food items. So it'll be like swordfish, strip steak, whatever. So Kevin Spacey serves this ball. Whichever piece of paper it goes through is whatever
ingredient has to
thing
use.
Gordon has to cook with. So that you get
Right.
like a protein, a starch, and a vegetable. It was like swordfish, couscous, and asparagus. And then like Gordon Ramsay just kind of casually flips that swordfish on the grill or whatever. Like it's all
it's a barbecue
it's
setup.
Like there's like barbecue setup. Kevin Spacey's helping him chop stuff. Like they're just kind of cooking together. It's not a quick fire style thing at all. I don't know why they set it up as this insane challenge thing. It was
It's just barbecue in Kevin Spacey's backyard segment is all it is.
It was
With
very
tennis
relaxed.
for some reason. I'm really not sure why tennis was involved in this at all. It's just like, hey, Kevin Spacey, pick 3 ingredients. Here's the options.
What I will say is like Kevin Spacey got in on the cooking, and that was kind of like a little more interesting than the other interviews.
Oh yeah.
And when he says a little interesting, it was like slightly above really boring.
We're
Right, but
really
that's like exponentially better than the other ones.
we're really grasping at straws for good stuff in this show.
Dude, at least Kevin Spacey was tolerable on the screen. Like, could actually tell a coherent story on TV.
Well,
unlike these other
Kevin
babbling
Spacey
idiots.
got as much airtime as those people on that first date. It was so crazy.
they didn't talk about anything.
No one talked about anything.
Kevin Spacey at least told a story or two about something.
Did that Bill
and there was
Clinton
a beginning-
impression.
right? And then eventually went out on the Bill Clinton impression, which I thought was a pretty decent Bill Clinton.
It was
impression, to be
alright. It was
fair.
alright.
I thought it was
So-
like I haven't heard that many good ones. I guess.
So I looked it up. Apparently, Kevin Spacey did like a Bill Clinton impression at the Tonys 2 days ago. Didn't watch the Tonys, so no idea.
The only thing they mentioned for him was the Tonys. And
Yeah.
I guess this was last week, so it would have been
Kevin Spacey was there to promote him hosting the Tonys for sure.
But I mean, House of Cards just came out too, so that's what I figured.
They didn't talk about House of Cards. Yeah,
but
that House of Cards is not on the Fox broadcasting network.
the Fox.
Oh.
It's true. All of the things that were talked about
So
were
they're
on
all-
the
yeah.
Fox.
Of course.
The Fox or Fox? I've never heard it
the
called
Fox.
The Fox.
It's on the Fox.
The Fox sounds like one of those like random local stations that's like, on
It's a radio station.
Yeah, like a local radio station. That's what I was
107.3
looking
The
for.
Fox.
Right.
Exciting Fox news. They've dropped the tagline "Fair and Balanced."
Oh,
that
yeah?
was the tagline?
Just
Yeah.
now?
Like today or yesterday. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Fox.
Do
doing
all these have
those.
taglines? Like what's CBS's?
We have that show.
Well, like TNT is like something about drama, right?
Yeah. we have the
TNT knows drama.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Is there any other ones people know?
TBS has one.
Characters
Where's-
welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What's something on USA? Is like where the comedy lives or something? It's definitely
Yeah.
not it.
USA.
We're not TNT.
Where the comedy lives.
It's not where the comedy lives. Shit, is that Comedy Central?
Comedy Central. Bada bing, bada boom.
That's definitely not it. Why did it go to like crazy New York stereotype? Like that was a weird turn.
Like it's Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how this show got greenlit and who the fuck is producing
Okay.
it.
I know exactly how it was greenlit.
terrible.
It's
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay.
It sounds like a great show when you pitch it. They're having problems with the execution right now, I think. Like,
No.
I think that there's
I
a
don't
way to
even
That's
do
why I say they need better writers.
I think that there's a way to do this show that it's a good show. It's just not a good show yet.
I think Gordon Ramsay walking around his restaurant doing things, and also there's a competition in the middle. I understand the appeal of that.
Yeah.
It's just the current setup sucks. So-
It's
I don't understand. I don't understand the show at all.
it's a very it's
like what
it's-
would you do? Like what? How would you change it? Right? Like
It's just-
what would you form? Looks like Max has some crucial information.
All right, so here's what I think. You can fix the interview section by hiring Larry King to do the interviees. So it's just like the Larry King
Whoa.
Gordon Ramsay show.
Oh,
And then
That'd
what
be
the
nuts.
fuck does Gordon Ramsay do?
is Gordon Ramsay the band then?
I sure.
Right. So you just replace the band segments with Gordon Ramsay. That'd be like a way to be a host of a like if you're gonna be a host, you've got Gordon Ramsay cooking you dinner every night. It's
Ooh.
pretty good.
Yeah,
it's like
you
let's
just
all
have some,
walk
like-
over to the Gordon Ramsay, see what he's cooking up over here.
You just have
oh,
some
he's
food
barbecuing
porn.
up some swordfish.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good night.
yeah, that'd be
It's,
great.
it's kind of like a combo of a daytime TV show and a night
yeah,
TV
yeah, yeah,
show,
totally.
and both done very poorly.
Right.
it's just like
Like the camp of a daytime TV show.
How's it going there, Chris? Really,
Chris,
losing
what's
it over
going
there.
on?
I was playing with Max's phone, and Max just stole it away from me very flamboyantly, and that's why I was laughing.
Got
Okay.
rejected.
Like it's just done so poorly because Gordon Ramsay's not good at good
Well,
at it.
it's
There's
just-
too many segments, and it's like
like it's
can't.
it's definitely a train wreck, but like this is a really hard show to execute. It has
So much.
pre-recorded segments. It has live. It has cooking. It's live.
Why did it need
There
to
are
be live?
celebrity interviews. Like this is such a hard show to execute, and Gordon Ramsay's never hosted a show like this before. Like I believe that that a show in this format could work. It either has to be a more experienced host or producers or writers, or maybe they just need a bunch of episodes to figure this thing out.
Does this thing matter that it was live to you? I mean, like the crowd was insane because it was live, but like,
I thought it was cool that it was live. I think
Right.
for a couple reasons. Like one, it was a little bit disconcerting to watch it live because like there was like reality show stuff happening without any reality show editing. So it's like Gordon Ramsay just rolls up on these people and they have to say something worthy of being on TV like, right in that moment. They can't pour through 20 minutes of clips to be able to clip
Yeah.
it out. So it the liveness kind of hurt it a little bit, but I think others just kind of fascinating to be able to watch it that way. I don't know.
yeah.
So like the liveness to me seemed like, oh, this would be a live cooking competition. Sounds good, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I think by the end, I'm like, I would have liked this pre-recorded so like let the competition breathe a little bit, get the exciting parts so I could see them
Mm-hmm.
instead of like you manufacturing bullshit and not seeing any of the cooking competition
Right.
and people still eating. So I don't even know if they got to answer the stupid question. So like, I think it's a detriment at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they should just scrap the whole cooking competition out of the show. It doesn't make any sense to have it in there.
I don't know how to fix the show. I can't tell you how to fix the show. Just throw it away, burn it, and then move on.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
I have a question for you, Chris.
Oh man, yes, please.
So when we started this podcast, you mentioned that this is completely different from the UK F word.
Yes.
So what is the UK F word?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Is it like a cooking show that's live?
Was it also hosted by Gordon Ramsay?
It's a
No.
Gordon Ramsay show from the UK. It was like on for like 8 seasons or something.
So there's a chance that Gordon Ramsay has 8 seasons of experience hosting a show in this format, and this is what it looks like now?
It's possible.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Man.
If this is season 9 of this show, that's not
Maybe
looking
there was
good.
like a bunch of changes from like the UK version.
Could be.
Probably.
Right, like maybe it was a lot simpler, and
I
then
mean,
like oh, these Americans, we gotta like do this crazy shit and like have all this nuts like bullshit in here.
I don't know. All I know is that this seems to be a whole new show. I can't imagine this being a 9th season of anything, let alone a show that I can't even believe they aired episode 2.
I realize now I've actually watched a clip of the F Word UK, and it's pretty good. I'll show it to you guys after the podcast.
Okay.
So what is
Is like a key difference or something? Like,
So it's Gordon Ramsay in a cook-off with James May from Top Gear,
okay.
and you know.
Oh, so it's like celebrity is on a show, and there's like a cooking competition in that format.
And these two are competing, and then they serve it to people in his restaurant, and they see how it went.
Yeah.
So Gordon
that
Ramsay
sounds
competes
decent.
with somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like so-
infinitely better than this.
right.
Or it's just yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Bottom show, like almost the bottom. Anyone else? Anything above the show?
Like you're saying, this is the worst show on the list, like bottom board.
No, it's like bottom 3.
bottom 3. Okay.
I have a proposal. I think we need a new tier for this and the Celebrity Apprentice.
Complete and utter garbage.
Banished.
Yeah.
Almost banned the network.
All right.
Like
So I have a question. So we've already recently watched another Fox show, which was live, which was canceled after only 2 episodes. Do you think that this show is long for this world?
Yes.
I do.
Unfortunately.
So the only reason I could see the show existing is because Gordon Ramsay wanted it, and literally this Fox only has Gordon Ramsay right now.
Yeah.
Like all his shows, like people watch on Fox.
So
like they're like, all right, Gordon, go do this show. You know, if it does well, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, whatever.
So they let
But,
him make
like,
this show. They don't give him a ton of money to make it because they know that there's like, okay, like we'll get you on MasterChef. We'll make all the MasterChef money.
MasterChef Junior money.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's the only reason I could see the show existing.
Makes sense.
But I'm going to propose maybe a Fox temporary ban or permanent ban. Like I
don't know.
I can't. Like we watched that You the Jury show.
It's horrible.
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 There's this show. Like I can't. And with 24 Legacy, I can't.
The list, like, yeah. So that was gonna kind of be my idea, which is like, is there like a penalty box sort of rule that we want to impose, or like, so many strikes, and we're like, all right, we're taking a temporary like pause on this network.
I'm in.
So like we were talking about what shows we should watch next week. We have like a list. We haven't really narrowed it down. One show I was thinking about was called American Grit, but
What network?
it's on Fox.
No way. I think we got a penalty box.
I was like,
Hosted by John Cena.
it's like a John Cena show about guys finding grit. This is the only thing I know about it, and it's just
it
like,
kind of seems like it's like a bunch of people going through a boot camp that John Cena's running.
yeah. And I think we've got to ban it because I can't imagine Fox producing a good reality show after watching these two.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we won't get to it. I think we just got to like temporary
Well,
ban.
We got to pump the brakes on
Right.
Fox.
Do you guys remember that show that was hosted by The Rock, and he was like helping this fat guy get skinny?
Yes,
I do. You mean Wake Up Call?
Wake Up Call, which sort of seems similar to this. That was a bad show, and if The Rock couldn't save a show like that, I'm not sure John Cena can save a show like that.
What
The
if-
Grit show?
What if The Rock was the host of a show in the format of the F Word?
Yo,
Changed up a bit to to kind of
Look,
fit
I
The
I think
Rock.
it's a bad format.
The
Like, they
Rock
it's just
has
no good.
so much like charisma, man. Anybody would open up to him.
Like if you
Yeah.
He
change
would
the show
kill it.
around a little bit so that it's more like a nighttime show, where like you can replace the monologue with whatever, and then
Yeah.
you can interview 3 people. Like that's a fine show, just as long as you can interview people and they have interesting things to say.
It was just so schizophrenic. It's just
And probably don't do it live. Like there's no reason to do the show live, from what I could tell.
they definitely should have taken better advantage of the liveness of it. Like something should have happened.
Yeah, if it's
that was
live,
more
you gotta
live.
you got to be like juggling chainsaws or something. Like it's got to
Yeah,
be.
you can. Everyone knows you can only juggle chainsaws on live
well, I mean,
television.
it's exciting, more exciting, because if shit goes bad, you've got nothing to do.
Oh yeah, is that what you're gonna explain that one?
Yeah. Like
All right.
if shit goes bad
Man.
and it's a pre-recorded, you just dump the whole segment, and you're like, oh.
So
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Oh man.
Whereas
Do you only
some
watch,
guys
like,
bleeding
Sports
out on
Live
the
or
floor.
something too, just for like that reason.
Yeah, obviously, I want to see people get hurt. Why do you think people watch hockey?
Oh,
There you go.
All right.
hot off the press.
Bottom third,
No-
all the way.
There's no question. Like I don't even know. I can't tell you which one's worse, Celebrity Apprentice or this. I don't remember in that episode whether I said Celebrity Apprentice was the worst. But like, I would watch any of the Housewives shows over.
I would
this.
certainly not watch a Housewives show over this.
Oh, I totally would. At least there's something interesting happening.
I can't watch those shows, man.
you can watch this.
I can't watch this either, but I definitely can't watch those Housewife shows.
That's what you're telling me is you'd rather watch this though,
Oof.
because we watched one of the Housewives shows. So you're saying that one's under this?
I'd like to watch like episode 20 of this and like see what it's like.
I'm curious if they clean it up in like S2E1 or something.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I can't.
I could totally see this as like just one of the few background, just whatever shows that's on in the background. I don't need to pay any attention to it. I could be outside cooking.
You might
doesn't
as
matter.
well have like whale noises on, like for all it matters.
Yeah, it's literally just noise
And every once in a while,
and
there's some food.
and a bunch of nonsense on the screen.
Wow. I'm not like hating as much as you guys, I think, but it's definitely in the low tier.
I didn't take anything away from that show.
No.
There was that one recipe on how to cook something.
What was it? You don't even know what it was.
Was it the actual dish that these both were
Yes.
trying to make?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looked really good when he made it.
They really should have
It didn't look
tied.
good when they cooked it. to
They
be
really should have
honest.
tied that whole thing together a little bit better. That it's like they're gonna start the show with Gordon Ramsay show. First of all,
Showing you what
Gordon
the dish
Ramsay
is.
should do a live fucking demo
Right.
of cooking that salmon.
Here's how to
first.
run. Here's how to cook.
That's
salmon.
why you do it live, and you do it in real time, so people at home can maybe try and cook along with it while all this stuff's happening in the back. Maybe something like that.
I mean, the problem-
Oh, I like that idea.
Some
So like
liveness.
maybe before the show they
yeah,
post
you
the
just
ingredients
have
you need.
got like salmon sitting around.
No,
Right, like,
dude,
before
they
the show,
like
they
they,
post it or
they like
something.
post
Shit.
it up, and then you're like, let me pop on my TV for dinner time.
Or it's like
cook
on the next
salmon
time, it's
up.
like, hey, for the next time, here's the ingredients to go and get.
Check
you got
this
a week
out.
to go buy your ingredients.
Check this out.
Wait, do you have an idea?
Are we about to say the same idea at the same time?
Does BA?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they gotta team up with Blue Apron.
Yeah, just get a
Oh,
Blue
yeah.
Apron subscription so that every week you get sent whatever
That's-
the meal is for the show, and you
That's
cook it
such
with
a
Gordon.
Good idea.
Be- that'd
Holy
be-
shit!
They should
Oh yeah,
totally do
dude.
that.
Gordon, hit us up.
If
hit
anyone
us
at
up.
Fox is listening,
Fuck you.
there you go, because you're gonna steal that
Fox
idea.
isn't putting enough money in the show at all.
This podcast brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron. There's no apron actually involved. It's just food.
And it's
That
not blue.
sounds good enough to believe it.
All right, so I think we've got some updates to go through since the last time we talked about we talked.
Oh gosh.
Harrison, we got a Bachelorette from last week.
Yeah.
and
So.
we've got 2 challenge updates.
Oh, gosh.
There's also
okay.
The Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, we
the
do have to
Bachelor in
talk.
Paradise?
We should cover that first because it's the most interesting of all this stuff, right?
So fill me in on the Bachelor in Paradise thing, because I only recently learned it was an actual thing.
Yeah.
But it's live now. It's happening. It's on
Okay.
TV.
Here's
Catch me in.
here's the context. So there's this spin-off show they have called Bachelor in Paradise where they have contestants from both The Bachelor and The Bachelorette in some kind of dating competition reality show. I don't think we really need to get into the
They
details
should
of that right
be
now.
naked.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay.
And so they are currently filming like Bachelor in Paradise right now, and it was going to air, I think, starting in like August or something. They were going to start airing it. And we all remember our friend from the first episode, DeMario, who got thrown off of The Bachelorette when his girlfriend rolled up
that
on
thing.
that basketball game and said that they were still together, right? So that dude got booed off Bachelorette.
I don't remember.
I think we
So-
talked about it in one of the updates, but I don't think we watched that episode.
So DeMario is on Bachelor in
back?
Paradise.
Oh, he's in the Paradise.
On
How do you-
Bachelor in
How does
Paradise.
one get on Bachelor in
I
Paradise?
just think that they
You're
pick.
just like you were on Bachelor.
You're on one of those
Bachelorette.
shows.
And
They
they
think
pick
you
you, the
want to be on
producers?
there. They put you
Okay.
on there, right?
Got it.
DeMario's on there.
Okay.
Show's going.
But the girlfriend is still a thing, or he's broken up with the girl.
That part is totally unclear
Not
and
related to
probably
what we're talking about.
unrelated to the story.
Okay.
So it comes out like this article comes out, I think earlier this week or maybe last week, that production on Bachelor in Paradise has been halted because one of the contestants made some unwanted sexual advances against one of the other contestants.
Like, I don't think it was sexual
I
advances.
don't think it
I
was-
think it was a lot worse.
was it really?
I'm pretty sure you don't halt the show for unwanted sexual advances.
That was my understanding. So
Pretty sure
my
you halt it for
my basic understanding of the thing, and I wasn't there. I don't have a first-hand
obviously-
account of this situation.
obviously you're
Harrison
gonna
was trying
PR
to
spin
dance
it.
around, painting. Was it
He-
Mario? DeMario?
DeMario.
With the
DeMario.
bad image here.
And
I have no idea about this. This is crazy.
the article was basically like, hey, like whatever, like this girl was like super intoxicated, and he basically took advantage of her.
Right, and more importantly,
Oh, that
production,
sounds worse than
production did nothing. Production
Right.
may have been filming.
Right, exactly.
Oh, so the show's like
So
under
it's not good for the
investigation now
show.
for like
That's
recording.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's real fucked up, and they shut down production on the show, and like
So somebody
It's
saw a cut
done.
of this and they're like, "What the fuck is happening here, guys? Did you guys really?"
Well,
just
it's
record
more
and not
like
do
That must
anything?"
have
the
been what
girl
happened.
wakes up the next day and was like, "What the fuck? I was, assaulted on your show. You did fucking nothing." Like,
yeah,
And you have recording of it.
yeah.
She has proof.
So yeah,
So that
shit
guy's definitely fucked, and the show's fucked.
It's a bad situation all
That girl
around.
just goes and sues the show now. That's basically why she's like, "Stop the thing. I get final say over all this stuff."
I mean, like, I think it's probably pretty bad for the image of all those kind of properties they have. Really, like, that's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a good look.
I'm sure The Bachelor will continue on, but yeah, in the meantime, not a good situation.
The girl's definitely
Yeah.
going to make bank in this situation, though.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Right?
Who knows?
She just has like the big mallet over Fox's head, just like give me a
ABC,
shitload of
ABC.
ABC. What? I'm sorry, I just assumed it was Fox with
ABC.
issues.
What's
Um,
ABC's tagline?
ABC.
We used to have Lost.
That is true.
Have it your
That is
way.
what I remember about ABC.
So there was also a story that I saw about the Bachelor/Bachelorette, where the people on the show are there for 2 months and they're not allowed to have any contact with the outside world.
Yeah.
They have nothing. They don't even
That's-
have books. One season, the only book people were allowed to have was the Bible.
The
Oh,
fuck?
man.
Like, so that's why all these people like seem there's so much drama because they've got nothing to do.
There's-
Right, there's
Losing
losing
their
their
minds.
Bitch about everybody.
They're losing their minds because all they have to do is talk to the other people, bitch about people, think about Rachel, talk about Rachel.
Like, you're not even seeing like other females if you're on like The Bachelorette. That's all you see. Like,
It's a disaster.
You got some sort of Stockholm syndrome in that show.
This is like Bachelor in Hell.
Yeah, that
exactly.
sounds terrible.
I
Makes
think
sense why they're also desperate to get with the girl, though,
Right, it's
or the other way around, or whatever.
It's
Right?
literally
They're
the
just-
only like pastime.
Yes,
you
the
have.
only thing to do. It's the only thing to talk about. It's the only thing the producers want you talking about. So
and then
like,
you're just stuck in this house with a bunch of liquor in a pool, and like just see what happens.
must be so boring.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What else do we got?
We have the challenge champs versus pros,
Sure.
which is still going pretty strong.
Have they replaced the host yet?
No, Victor Cruz is still intact.
How's
he
his
doing
hosting
better?
going?
He did have 1 2-second moments yesterday that was rather entertaining. I don't remember what it was though.
I have no idea.
He had the whole room cracking up.
Yeah. So we're now getting down. So next week is going to be the finals for it, and I can list off who's going to be in it if you want to. We've got Camilla, Cara Maria, CT, Darrell, and Wes from the champ side. Those are the challenge veterans.
Sure.
We've got
Those sound like names.
Yeah. Then we got Gus, Cameron, Lindsay, Lolo, and Luis
Ooh,
on the
Lolo's
pro
still
side.
in it.
Lolo Jones has
Lolo's-
been in every single elimination and has wrecked everybody that she's
Really?
been against.
Why do they keep putting her in the elimination
To
then?
get her
To
out.
try and get her out because she's the best player there.
Oh, so she just has to keep going.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
And
surprised she doesn't win the immunity challenges.
yeah, she never quite wins like the regular one, and then she always gets voted into
Right.
the elimination one.
What has there been any like crazy elimination challenges?
No.
Not really. Like it.
The sword one was cool.
Yeah. Can you explain one? I can't remember that one.
So basically, they put two people in a ring, and they both have like swords that can crack.
Oh yeah.
Like wood swords or something? Or not like an actual steel sword.
Right. Unclear what material it's made out of, but basically, you have to like dodge out of the way while other people are swinging at you. It's a game of chicken, basically,
Yeah.
and it's kind of interesting and strategic.
So that's happening. Finale next week. They also announced season 30 of the challenge proper,
Triple X.
the Dirty 30, as they're calling it.
Returning with
A bunch of people.
A
I don't
bunch
know.
of 30-year-olds?
Who's our
or,
host?
like,
TJ Lavin,
all right, good to
of
hear.
course.
how old do these guys get?
I mean, ludicrous though.
That's fair.
And I think this is premiering in July sometime, so maybe we'll check in on that one.
Check-ins of the challenge.
So are these dudes really old or like I have no idea.
Most of
they've
them,
been on the
like-
show for so long.
Pretty much everybody on the show is in their 20s or 30s.
Okay.
Like the oldest people are like upper 30s, I think.
So, can you confirm that I was correct that they all do not live in the same house?
They definitely are not all living in the same place, but it seems like they have them spending like a bunch of time together. Like it seems like when they show up for the day, like they're just there hanging out together all
Like,
day.
how many days do you think they spent filming this?
It seems like they probably filmed it over like a week, something like that.
Yeah.
So they're just there like
Five-
all day.
5 days or a
whatever
week or
time.
something
So,
like
like,
that.
is it
Right.
still like they do the immunity challenge in the morning and then do like the real challenge at night?
Yeah, they do the main challenge during the day and then they do the elimination at night. Like it definitely seems like it's a faster pace of challenges than usual. I think like they're doing them on like back-to-back days. It seems like people are getting pretty worn out.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
pretty-
because that's got to like hurt some
Oh,
people's
yeah.
chances that like go way too all out in like one challenge and not like.
Oh
other
yeah.
people.
I mean, like Lolo's been like pissed about that because she's had to compete in all these, in literally every single challenge. So yeah. Anyway, I really want to see some of those pros get into the main challenge cast. I feel like that'd be a nice addition.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
also you want to see Lola actually make it to the end to wreck one of these champs.
Yes,
Because
she's-
like, or else she's just gonna get burned out, and then it just sucks. Because like some of these
Yeah.
other like,
Yeah.
these pros, right?
well, she's in the final now, so she's gonna.
Oh, she isn't-
Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
she's gonna get
So
a
is it
shot
actually
at it
going to
here.
be Champs versus Pros now? Like, are they going to compete head to head?
Right. It's kind of like champs and pros.
It is unclear what the format of the final is, and the teams are now imbalanced because for the last elimination, it was a champ versus a pro. So Lolo Jones beat Ashley K.
Oh, yeah.
like,
I mean,
or
how did
Ashley
it go?
M. Right?
That's what I've been waiting for. Like, the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
time.
What do you mean? You just other people get stopped?
I want the champs versus the pros part of the show.
Sure.
To actually happen.
yeah.
So
So
it finally happened.
so it happened
And what-
head to head, and it was Ashley versus Lolo.
Do you know who Ashley is? She won the last challenge. She is this
Oh.
Southern girl. We call her Trashly.
Yeah.
Right.
She is
She-
a little tiny stick of a person.
She's
against
also the
Lolo
one that
Jones.
she's also the one that coined the term polydicking.
Oh, classic.
So you got
politicking.
Ashley versus Lolo Jones, and it actually seems like it's pretty close, but Lolo ends up beating her.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you had Wes versus Louis Vito, who's somehow still in, but and
Dunzo.
then yeah, Wes actually ended up winning. So in that one, champ won.
Yeah.
Nuts.
So, do we have our
Was it-
last update, Harrison?
What's the last update?
Well, your last update, The Bachelorette.
Oh gosh. Well, so there was no Bachelorette this week because
that's crazy.
Because of the NBA Finals.
Oh, because of the news that came out with Bachelor in Paradise?
No. NBA Finals.
Maybe NBA Finals, maybe the news. Who knows?
I feel like you bump the NBA Finals for Bachelor in Paradise. Bachelor.
Regular Bachelor, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't really have a lot of updates on Bachelorette, but they're basically continuing to whittle down folks. There was a mud wrestling match for one of the group dates in the last episode. They went on the Ellen show in the last episode also.
Like as a group?
Yeah, as a group.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's gotta be entertaining for those people that have just been stuck in a house for 2 months, though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they're
we're going
just
out
like,
in the
oh
real
my
world.
god.
Well, they haven't been there 2 months yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Over the course of the show, they filmed for like 2 months.
Yeah. Definitely.
So if you're there for the whole time,
And then if you
You're
go on
just
the next
crazy.
one, like you're Rachel, you're just there for 4 months.
well, you know,
yeah.
if you cut yourself off from the internet, you're already off. So why go back on? You're just like, just continue another 2 months.
What is Rachel doing this whole time?
She's just chilling somewhere.
Well, she
Like,
might.
By herself? Like, does she get like a TV or something?
She
Like-
might have access to the internet
Yeah, she
because
probably
like
has
the
access to all this
contestants
stuff.
won't.
Yeah.
Like
She's probably living a more normal kind of existence than
I don't know.
than the
she's
guys are.
dating like
No.
25 guys.
Okay.
Like,
So like at this point, everyone's making out with her all the time. So like, like they go on some of these group dates, and there's like 6-7 dudes on one of these group dates, and she's making out with at least 5 of them on the date.
Like
Like,
all
it's
at the
crazy.
Same time?
Oh, yeah.
It's like just like it's just like one.
Not all at the same
I
time.
want to see this 5-6 person make out.
It's just one after another. Like they have to have like some mouthwash there first. Like something's got to happen.
No doubt.
It's crazy.
Are there like, and there's never any fights on this show or anything? Just like
There have been some
There was a mud wrestling match.
mud wrestling.
Do they
But
have
not
the
fight.
same rules as the challenge? Like if you get into a fist fight, you're
I think
out?
so. Waboom's gone.
That's sad. He was the
And,
best part of that show.
R.I.P.
Blake, the guy who was for some reason felt like he needed to call Waboom on his shit, also got booted out, and they got into a huge fight in the parking lot.
Ooh.
Some kind
like
of
an
crazy
actual
situation.
fight or just a verbal. Blah,
I don't
blah,
know.
blah.
Like it seems like this guy and Waboom have some kind of a history. Like his his roommate's ex, like he's his roommate's ex or something. Like so, there's like some weird thing. And this is not the first reality show they've been on together. So I think that this guy is a little bit tired of the Waboom guy following him around to all these reality shows.
What other
is what it
reality
seems
show
like.
was Waboom in?
I'm not sure
Because I
but-
feel like, that might be more entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Is the guy with the puppet or the ventriloquist,
AJ.
he's still on?
Yeah,
no,
he's still on.
what?
AJ isn't super prominently featured, but he's still on.
So
He's
still
always
there just as
he's
the-
always in like a couple of shots. So okay, so I'm gonna share this here on the pod, and then we're gonna post it out on Facebook and Twitter. We've recently discovered that there is a Bachelorette Fantasy League that ESPN runs, and one of the questions for this next week is, will AJ appear on camera in this episode?
Oh man, that's so good.
So,
I filled it out.
got
oh yeah, filled it out, Chris?
Yeah, I did. I
Nice.
filled it out. I have no idea what I filled out, but I filled it out.
So we're gonna get a group going, and we'll send it out on our social medias.
What the hell are we doing? We're playing Bachelorette fantasy thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You were all on board for like NASCAR Fantasy League, okay? You can't talk about shit.
It sounds more interesting than this. Who the hell are we picking? I don't even know any. Like, yeah,
Okay. Here's
Oh, God.
Here's the format.
that sounds terrible.
Oh, do we need to go over the? You
Like-
pick, so there's 6 questions. You answer the questions, and then you can pick
Yeah.
whoever you think the last 4 people are and who you think's going to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
oh,
it.
so it's
Each
not like a
week-
whole big
no.
time.
No.
Like you
So
gotta know
each
all the
You
week
pick your
you
final
pick-
4.
Yeah, each
And
week
your
you have
winner.
6 questions,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
but you don't pick a different 4 each week. You just have 4, I think.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's what it seems like. They just kind of ask some questions about stuff that's going to happen in the next episode. There's like 6 questions or something.
It's like the most minimal amount of time you could ever think of when you called something a fantasy league.
100%. No
Like-
drafting.
Like, there's nothing really about it. And I guess I have an update.
Okay.
Oh,
I have watched a couple episodes of Married by Mom and Dad.
Uh-oh.
how's it going?
How'd it go?
So the fourth person that you guys didn't meet is real boring. He definitely doesn't deserve to like be on that first episode.
Surprise, surprise.
Like, he's just like pretty normal, realistically. And the second episode is very much like the first episode. It's you're seeing different times in this like process that they're in, and there's still only like 2 or 3 people that these people are meeting.
You got to trust the process.
So like, there's one person that
Jesus.
that like the parents picked 2, they met, and now they're like the next episode they're trying to get married, and there's like they're trying to portray some sort of drama. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet, but like that's it. Out of like I don't know how many videos they watched, but they only met 2 people on the show, and then
So-
they picked one of them for their daughter to get married to, which I know Harrison is definitely
What?
like
So you would say that the pool remains thin
yeah.
for...
Oh boy.
The
so these
pool
people are
is
about to get
definitely
married
thin.
now. On the next, like, is
Yeah.
that on the next time?
That was like pretty much on the next time. Like
Holy
they're like
shit.
they're planning.
I told you exactly how the show is going to go.
They
There's just nobody
planned.
on it.
They planned the. So I watched 2 episodes. They're like, the third episode is like better. They're like planning the wedding, and like you're
Is that
getting
one-
further
oh.
along the process.
The process. There's such
You
an
have to
elaborate-
trust the process.
Is that girl getting married to a bald guy?
I don't know. That's not the person that's getting married.
Oh shit. Oh, which one's getting married?
The one that didn't want to meet their husband before the
Oh,
wedding,
great.
but
Yeah,
she
the one who was-
actually met.
Oh, really? Okay.
They like convinced her to meet him.
But
but like
this, Muscles McGee, the guy that she's meeting.
no,
Okay.
it's the other guy, and they're making it seem like I don't know in the next time or whatever that he might actually not go through with it.
Oh, boy.
So that would be a wrench in the system.
That would be interesting.
That wouldn't be able to trust
like-
the process at that point.
Oh, man.
So the
maybe
only process is
maybe
there is none.
maybe the runaway groom is a part of the process. If the groom runs away, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. So the other thing is, I looked the show up on IMDb, and one of the girls that the guy meets is on American Ninja Warrior and a bunch of actual movies
What?
from the LA group of people. So I'm like, it definitely seems like these people just like want to be on TV. I don't know if they like are actually looking for like
Smells
a relationship,
smells right.
but like there's only one person on IMDb though. It's only her, and like in the episode she was in, like he asked her a question like, "Hey, are you ready for marriage? You think this is good?" And she just gives this look like,
Oh.
"I'm definitely considering it, but like probably not." So she's like,
Wow.
"It's most likely not going to happen."
That's nuts.
But she's like the hottest girl on the show.
So, do you think you're going to revisit that top third rating for the show?
You know, it's
that's the
definitely
question.
not the Amish show,
It's not breaking Amish.
It's not breaking
They're not
Amish.
lying to your face
and
that we know of.
yeah. So I like tried to Google if the show is fake, and like there's definitely interviews with contestants that were on the show.
Yeah.
So like it definitely doesn't seem fake. Whether the motivations of the people of the show are like dishonest, then you know that's a different story.
Okay.
And we watch so much shit that like if I'm splitting reality shows up from top third to bottom third to middle third, like the top third, the quality bar is just like low. Like
You're right. You're right.
like if I'm
Yeah.
comparing my top TV shows, like the things that my top shows aren't even close. Like they're like
no doubt.
it's not even a question. So that's why it stays in the top third.
I like that. I like that.
Like there's
Strong.
I just had to lower the bars for top and middle and bottom.
He's lowering.
So
It only took I don't know.
you
a bunch
know,
of
we were at like
episodes.
40 episodes in or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jesus.
All right.
Are you gonna? Keep
Thanks for the
watching that
update,
show,
yeah.
though?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I plan on it.
Okay.
Just like once, you know, I got other shows to go through. Orange is the New Black came out. I'm a big fan.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's like I've been watching that. And
How is the latest season? I originally liked I liked the first season a lot. Started dipping a little, but I still liked it. And I watched, what was it, 2 and 3? Is this 4 now?
this is 5.
5. Okay. How is season 5 going?
So season 5 is, it's definitely different than the rest of the 4 seasons, but like it's still just all about the people. Like I just get sucked into their like pseudo drama that like the writing is good, and I don't have to give my full attention to it, so it's like I know what's going on, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay. It's not like high class TV.
Have they so I've only watched 1 and 2. Have they continued like moving the focus off Piper and to everybody else who's more interesting?
Yes.
Great.
Piper is like everyone else now. She's a secondary character. There's no like main character.
That's a fascinating move for the show, and totally like good for them.
Yeah. So like if Piper, I think, is supposed to get out in 3 months or something, according to the show, but this season's probably only over like a week at most. So she might leave the show, and it won't kill the show. Right. So
it's pretty ballsy to say like, hey, our main character no longer a main character.
It's been a slow process though. She was a main character for a while.
Oh sure.
But like, I think you just get sucked into all the other characters.
Yeah,
there's so many of them that like Piper's like could be in like in a scene or two, and she might not even be in just one scene in an episode.
Right.
So it's like
they definitely did a good job at like building out like other plots and storylines and like a lot of different connection points. Like that was one of the things I thought they were on a really good trajectory to like kind of do well. And I feel like they've done that pretty solidly.
I like the Lost style flashbacks. Like I just generally like that kind of thing in shows. So like Arrow was really cool when that started, and it has a similar thing.
Yeah.
This has a similar thing, but like you get to those flashbacks in the show are really great because there's like infinite amount of flashbacks. There's so many characters and so many things that happen.
Kind of frees you up a lot to like just be like, hey, like this is the thing we need this to show.
Like you could tell interesting stories about people in prison and why people are in prison for like bullshit reasons, or so like, or just tell an interesting story about like the last episode I watched like had like the Russian lady, her like why she left Russia, and it was just like that was a great backstory. It had like nothing to do with why she's in prison. It's just like
it's just you want to know more about that
it's
character.
Just like you're just learning more about this person. One thing I could say is like I don't really remember all the backstories, so just like sometimes when they're showing a backstory, I'm like, why is she in prison again? And I'm just like, well, there's a backstory at some point. I don't remember.
She had to leave Russia to pilot the USS Enterprise.
Yes. No, it's the one before the Enterprise.
Whatever.
Anyone else want to talk about anything else? Should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at the Chris Lorenz. Harrison.
I'm at Harrison Hoffman on Twitter.
Max, you got a...
I'm Demario Jackson on Twitter.
Oh, man.
You can follow us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can email us questions at whoputthison@gmail.com. You can find us on facebook.com/whoputthison. You can find us at bachelorettefantasyleague.com/whoputthison.
I don't think that's the actual URL, but we will send out the real one.
Don't worry about it.
We do not have bachelorinparadise.com/whoputthison.
Don't worry about it. We'll see you guys next time.